Okay, it's that time. Time to put transmission in. I don't think you want to watch me pump this 100 times. There's an extra 100 for the air over, and when I'm pumping it up like this, I always think, geez, that would have been good. But really don't take that long, and once it hits the second stage, like any second now, where the second stage starts going, it goes a lot faster. And I had to pull that pan off or something, so I'm going to clean this up when I'm going to pull this pan off, and I'm going to clean that all up and put it back together. You know what? I'm going to lower this back down. There you go. No point in doing it all the way up there. Tilt it. I love this one that you can do both directions. Okay, I left it in gear so that way I can turn the drive shaft to get those splines to mesh. Okay, that's locked in. Let's see if I can get that forward. Okay, I'm going to cheat and take this camera off my head and get a viewpoint that I wouldn't normally be able to get. Okay, that's in. I just have to get the pilot bearing to line up. This comes in handy. Looks like it has to come over this way. Bingo! Hope I was recording. Bingo, it's in. Okay, they don't always go in easy. That was easy. And get some bolts. Oh great, I put the part I need to work on away from me. Okay, what I'm going to do, I don't want to go in here twice. Torque spec on this, believe it or not, is tight. That's the way they worked back then. Tight works for me. I use the tilt function. And get the other side that you can see. Okay, and put the other one on here since you could see this side. get one better than me? Actually, I can't see my hands in the way. It's probably the same for you. These transmission jacks are really nice if you get the full tilt feature. It's worth the extra money in my opinion. I hook up air, but I like to tighten things sometimes with my own little hands. I'm not going nuts yet. I'm just snugging it up a little bit. What the heck, I got the super long. I'm mostly just curious now. Actually, if it was a hair bit shorter, it would be better, but this works. I was going to get the Craftsman long piece set, and I went down to get them, and they're made in China. So I went to Harbor Freight, and for less than the price of one long extension, I got 3 long extension. This is the longest. So, I don't have all Harbor Freight. I have some Snap-on and some other stuff, but you know, for some things, this is good enough. And for what I just did, that's good enough, actually. Hopefully you can see. I get my shorty. Longie's good. Sometimes you reach for a wrench, you don't need it after you find out. Shorty don't help that much either. That's good. That's good. Camera's working fine since I switched chips. Some things are just a pain to get to. Take what you can get. Be happy you can get that sometimes. They're all pulled down. Let's see if I can get this in. Let's see if I can break my old Made in USA Craftsman swivel. Probably should use something different, but I'm gonna put a new pin in there. That's good. I'll go on the other side. I'm not dry greasing this thing exactly, so tight is good enough. That's tight. Always look at where your fingers are going to go. Okay. Go around the other side and snug. And then that's good. Let's see if I can get up here and get something on there. I'll just put a longer handle on there. That's tight. Actually, I need a shorter one. I mean, this is really nice that you can get in places, but a little bit shorter would be nice too. Okay, that's good. Transmission's in most of the way. Okay, I'm just looking at this and I realized there's something I should have bought. I should have got another one of these. I'm going to put this together just to get it together for now. I'm half tempted about filling this with weld. How's the other side look? For now, I'm just going to run it, make sure everything works. I can replace this part at any time. But I was up there. I could have got it. Oh well. Put some there, and put some there. This one in there like this. Pull the transmission over again. Okay, shift it back. There. Just go like that. I got grade 8 lock nuts. I figured what the heck, it can't hurt. Okay, let's get it on this side aligned. Come on, you get in there. There you go. It's warming up. I gotta take this whole sweater off pretty soon. I have Thinsulite and then a Carhartt and then a little sweater. I'm not heated. I was in the 30s this morning and it's coming up into the 40s now. Oh, what the heck, let me hook up my air. I got this after seeing Eric go on South Main Auto Channel, which is excellent, using it. So it's a really nice little, fast air wrap. Come on, you. Right there. I always like to feel it. This isn't that critical. It's not like I'm going to drop the transmission out of it. I hope. There you go. I'm going to get a little 3/8 impact too. Maybe I'll get one of those nanos. This isn't zinc either. I got all, I think it's grade 5 on the bolts. I got grade 8 nuts. Probably should have got grade 8 for everything. But I'm not drag racing this thing. There you go. Okay, let's start clearing stuff out of the way. Let's hit the little down pedal. And away we go. Okay, the next thing I want to do is get this plate off here so I can really clean this really well and get on those bolts. I've never had this off anyway, so it'd probably be good if I can clean that too. So I'm just going to break them with this. Why mess around when you put air on there? I saved the easiest for last so I can just get on it. I thought it was easiest. Ready? That way. Wow, we got rocks in there. I'll scrub that down a little bit before I put it in the parts washer. I don't need rocks in my parts washer. Let me go get that nut. Okay. Start trying to get this stuff off of there. I gotta find my SK gasket scraper. I like it a lot better. Somebody put some real schmutz on this. Of course, I'm complaining. I'm gonna do the same thing. I don't know why this is my favorite, but it is. Okay, get this last little bit off of here. That's probably more than good enough. I'll wipe it with some brake clean. See if I can get that in further, I'll get something. What I'm doing now is actually trying to get this flat. This is the pan for the bottom of my transmission, or excuse me, bottom of my transfer case. I got the one side pretty flat, and that's the side I got flat. And this side here is still raised up. What happens is people tighten these down too tight and it pulls these in. So what I'm doing here is real simple. I'm just putting it on. This is the biggest anvil I have other than that, and that's not too flat. Gee, I never thought to use the bottom of that. When I was a kid, my dad had an anvil and he sold it years ago. I wish he kept it sometimes because it was a good anvil. Let me try something different here. I've never done this before. Don't try. Oh, I got my steel tip boots on today. I don't know how that's going to work. But that's a railroad tie section upside down in my bench vise. Can you see that? That rock's there, and that side doesn't. This is the flattest surface I have, and I'm not pounding on it. See, it's a little bit bowed there. Let's make sure that's tight. Where? Okay. Yeah, actually I can hold that whole thing flat now. Okay, I have everything all cleaned up, all the gaskets scraped, everything's cleaned with brake clean, ready to go. I took and chased all these out. I have everything ready to go here. I have a speed wrench, I have the bolts with Loctite on them. I have the torque wrench set for about 160 inch-pounds. It calls for 12 to 15 foot-pounds. Again, that's dry. I put a little Loctite on there, so that's ready to go. The gasket here, there's only one orientation that you can get it. It doesn't go any other way. Put this on there. You notice I put napkins down and everything. I'm the guy that has to clean up. So I hate cleaning. So I do whatever I can to help that along. I put cardboard down. That actually really helps. So this doesn't harden, which is pretty good. Okay. Let me put it right in the right orientation. I'm going to use a couple of these clips. I don't sell these anymore, but it helps hold things in place. Ooh, I don't want to put it there. That's in a corner that's hard to get to. There you go. These are gasket clips that I bought a long time, well, that they used to sell a long time ago in a Snap-on truck. They're called gasket clip. You can't find them. I found these on eBay. I hope I'm not the guy that has to pull this off. Well, actually mine was glued on with stuff like this too. It takes like 20 minutes to get it off. It's not the end of the world. Okay. Let's put this in place. The other thing would come in good is a couple set of dowels to line stuff up. I do that sometimes too. Well, I don't think these are needed anymore. Just pinch them and pull them out. torquing down the head, but I am trying to keep it flat. How the hell did I miss that one? These ones that are close, I always get nervous when I get close. Oh, the alarm's off. I hope nothing's wrong. This has this little thing on there which I can't stand. These things round out. This has a pan on it. So I live near the ocean. I can get stuff for marine inexpensive. This is $4. Solid brass. Ooh, I bet you that's 9/16. I should have measured it before I got it up there. Yep. Speedometer don't work in this. Believe me, I can floor this thing in top gear and not break any speed limits. Yeah, I take that apart, I'll fix that. I don't need a speedometer for plowing. That's one of the things I've never needed. Okay, the next thing to go in is the starter. These old starters are a lot heavier than what we have nowadays. There you go. There you go, and that's not going anywhere. I can't see it either. It's on there. Okay. It's not going anywhere. I've got the starter solenoid again. Clean the terminal. Washer. Don't go crazy on this unless you want to buy a new starter solenoid. Okay, that's good. And I'm just moving here mostly so you could see. Okay, next thing I was going to do is put in the front drive shaft. Time to lower it down. Start working top side. I'm going to have to lift it up again, so I'm not going to put it all the way on the ground. Take it up a little bit. Pull the lock. Pull the lock. And then I keep this up because I've seen those handles wiped off before. People walk by and I'll just take that off. And going down. Right now we're going to see if we can put that shifter fork on. Okay, I have you sitting here, and actually you might be my eyes. I just want to see if I can get that in there. Let me get this wire off here. Close your eyes. I'm just going to yank it. There you go. Yeah, that'll go in. Let's hold it. I'm gonna push the carrier forward by sliding that behind. I can't see either. I'm doing this by feel. It took some real fishing, but I got that on. What I did was wedge this forward with a piece of metal and took my hand in there and just got it in place. So, okay. Let me go underneath and put the linkage on. Okay, that goes up there. That's good. That has plenty of adjustment on it. There you go. Let's put the spring on. Okay, let's put these bottom 4 bolts in. The ones with the square head. I doubt if they came with it, but they might have. They want here. What the heck, I'll put some of this in. This one was short when it came out too. Let's get this ready to go. If you remember, that was all cleaned before I put it in here. I cleaned out what was on the stand. Wipe it down with a rag with a little bit of brake clean. It's already been done multiple times, but not since I removed the tape from it. Okay, I have everything ready to go on. I'm just cleaning this with brake fluid and a rag. Scraped it with gasket scrapers and things like that. Have it all clean. I'll just wait for that to dry. Okay, that dried for about a minute or so. Now I'm going to put the aviation Forma gasket. It's non-hardening one there. Okay, we'll put the gasket on. Okay, I'm going to use gasket clips again, and I'm going to use it, let's see, what side? The shifter. This is the side towards the driver. That goes underneath the lip. So when I put that in, you know what? I'll put one here, and I'll put the other one, let's pinch that and pull it through. I'll put the other one back here. So there's the gasket clips. There's Actually, let me rotate that like that. And then we're going. Thought I wasn't recording for a second. Scared me. And then what I'm going to do is put more of this. Bring that over there. Okay, this thing should be in first gear and ready to go. Let's see if it just drops right in. I'm lining up the shifter forks. Shifter forks are all lined up. And just plop that in place. I'm going to put more blue Loctite. Oh, they've all been coated. Back to Mr. Speed Wrench. Just get that started with that. Not going snug, just putting it in. I couldn't find a torque. Well, the torque for this, what I found, is 8 to 15. I can't see that either, so don't feel left out. Okay, pinch this and pull it out. And pinch this and pull it out. These things come in handy. I'm surprised they don't sell them anymore. The thing I will say is all the pan holes are a lot smaller now. So they don't work on modern cars, but for these old things, they work great. And I don't know why they can't step them down for a modern car. I know they have the plastic pan things that you put in, but this is nice because it lets you bring the gasket to, you know, the way I did that without worrying about it sliding. Come on, you. Yeah, Speed Wrench with a swivel is kind of a nice thing. Okay, let's snug these down a little tighter. That's tight. That's tight. That's tight. That's tight. That's tight. That's tight. Now I have the torque in here. I set it for around 11 foot-pounds since that was the range. And you know what? I'm there already, and I'm happy with the way I tightened it. So. It's Speed Wrench tight. Okay, the shaft that holds the shifters on a transfer case is kind of crappy. I'm just going to clean it up a little bit. And now what I'm going to do is pull that off and try to clean this out. It seems like there's dried up grease in there. I keep a piece of leather here. I had those non-mooring jawls and I didn't like them, so leather works too. It's like 7/16. I'm not always the best guesser. Sometimes I get it. I don't want to crush that. Okay, I didn't want to deform that by putting it in a vise. So what I did is I got a 5C collet that I had that was 1/2 inch. It was one that I made 1/2 inch for another project. And I put it in a collet block. This is a nice way to hold round stuff. I'll just set it in there. And yep. And then I'm going to loosen this up. This one did not come with a wrench, and this one was boogered when I got it. So just tap it, and out it comes. Let me see if I can clean that out with a drill bit or something. Yeah, that was a little bit to get through there. It was like crustied up, but it's flowing. I was going to put some moly grease in there. So let me clear this out, and then I'm going to flush the thing. Oh, that went all the way down. There you go. Pump some grease through that. What I'm doing is just blowing these out. Then I'll just put this back on. There you go. And that taper locks in, so what you have to do is undo this, and it won't just pull out. You gotta tap it to break it from the wedge. Let's fill this sucker up. Second, and now it's coming out of both. So that's greased. Okay, I'm getting ready to put the shift rods in for the transfer case. Lube the shaft up. I'm going to get it started. Sorry you can't see, but I can't see either. There you are. Just want to make sure that goes through real nice. And it does. I'm going to leave that pointed down so I can grease it later. And then this is the first shifter. I'll put a little bit right there, there. I put a little bit in that hole. And it goes down into that, and then through that shifter. And then the second one needs a little grease here, and here, and here. And I'm just gonna have to look and see. Okay, that's in the spot. Let's see if I can push that through. And then I'm going to leave this down. And then there's a little screw here that goes up here, which I'm probably going to drop on the floor because I had to do this from the bottom last time. And that just engages in the groove there to keep that pin from sliding out. That's all, nothing great. And I'll just feel for a groove as it goes down and touches. Okay, Okay, that's touching. I backed it off a little bit. And there it is in a groove. There you go. I'll just snug that up a little bit. Doesn't have to go crazy on it, just snug. Okay, these just go in here. What the heck, let me lube them up too. All these do is keep these handles from rattling. And one goes facing that handle, one goes facing this handle, and then what you do is you pull that back and do that, and then you push that forward and do that. That's all they do. Okay, there's the bottom half of what we just installed here. I want to turn that Zerk and grease it, so right now it's at the wrong angle. I did a guess when I was up there, but the guess was wrong. So I'm just going to back that off and then rotate this forward. There, that's in a good angle to get to. A little bit of grease in there. That's probably good. And then I got a little bit there. I was going to top off the transfer case. Hopefully this won't leak. And I'm just using GL543. This isn't a transfer case. I don't think there's any yellow metal in there other than my plug here. And the other thing is there is a hypo gear right coming in. This is what I used in it for years, actually. This is what I also put in a transmission for the last 10 years. So I'm just going to put that in there. And start pumping. Now I'm going to put the transmission oil in. It has to be a GL4. You really don't want hypoid, but this is all you can get anymore. But you want to make sure it definitely doesn't have a limited slip. So there's a handful of fluids that you can still use. You used to be able to buy this stuff everywhere, and now it's a pain in the butt to get. This was like 34 bucks a gallon at Napa. I'll fill it up till it's level with that. It's like the old candid camera where the guy pulls in with a car and takes a couple 100 gallons. Here we go. Well, no leaks yet, but let's see. The night is young. It's supposed to have 3/4 of an inch pedal travel. 1, 2. This has 2 inches of pedal travel. Okay, let's try to start it. Disengage the clutch, put it in reverse, and the wheels are turning. Stop them wheels first, and the wheels are away we go. Second, now we're hauling. Okay, I think I need my tire balanced. Third. Now we're really moving. Okay, time to go for a ride. Break in that new clutch. I'd say she's good. So okay. It appears to run good. I am going to redo the linkage on the clutch. One spring needs to be replaced, and the Z-bar is really egged out. I should have replaced them. I should have bought the parts when I was up there. To be quite honest, I just took them out, put them in the pile, and I didn't look at them. I should have looked at those parts. But anyway, it's good to go, and then I'll do another video when I get some linkage. That'll be a separate video. Okay, thanks. Bye.